We are back here in New Orleans, Super Bowl 59 Radio Row, as we continue to inch closer and closer to Super Bowl Sunday. This week, we've been making a big deal out of both offensive lines, and a guy who knows a thing or two about that is joining us here on the show. 8-year NFL career, including New Orleans Saints, the St. Louis Rams, and the Kansas City Chiefs. It is Kyle Turley. Kyle, glad to have you here, man. How you doing? I love the fact that you're doing that.
Fans just went nuts.
How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. It's great to be back with y'all again, man. Here we are, Super Bowl, New Orleans, man. What number is it? 59?
It's 59.
59.
And with you being a former Saint, what's it like having the Super Bowl here in New Orleans? It's my first time,
It's
so
awesome.
I've gained about 25 pounds
this
since
is
I've
cheat
been
week.
here.
Cheat week.
Yes, exactly. My butt's going on.
Yeah,
on a diet
we
next
trained.
week.
I trained for this one like Christmas. Getting ready for the week of Super Bowl this year coming to New Orleans. I was in the gym doing 2-a-days so I could eat all of the things. I went to the Camellia Grill, had the chef's special with the chocolate freeze, chili on the omelet. Big old bowl of grits.
Oh, man. Everything is just amazing.
Oh,
it tastes
unreal.
incredible.
I'm at Steve Gleason's golf event yesterday, and on the course, it's golf tournaments. You get crappy food. No, I'm eating amazing gator sausage, fresh made, grilled. Right, you got oysters, killer oysters the size of your palm. Amazing grilled oysters. They're just right there on the course with you usually just getting little hand finger foods.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, truly incredible. All right, let's get to the matchup itself. Let's start with Kansas City.
All right.
Chiefs are back here again on the cusp of history, trying to make it 3 in a row. And the way that they've done it, too, everyone wants to say they're the worst 15-2 team in NFL history, which is just kind of funny when people say that. But this is a Chiefs team that simply didn't care how it got done in the regular season. Probably didn't care how it got done with the Buffalo Bills or the Houston Texans, because at the end of the day, they're playing for another Super Bowl. Your reaction to the Chiefs being back in the Super Bowl once again?
It's awesome. It's. I hope they get it. This 3 deal is big. If we can get 3, then everybody can start talking about Tom Brady. That's the goal. It should be everyone's goal, all right? Even the Eagles. Let's just stop talking about Tom Brady. Give it over to Patrick Mahomes. The kid deserves it, man. He's a baller. And then Andy Reid, what an amazing coach, out here and exposing the good word in the trilogy. I love it, man. It's awesome. He understands what's happening. And I think that locker room, more so than anything, is just such a bonded locker room. Everybody else in the NFL is just, I think, fighting for an identity. These guys have it. They know who they are. They know why they're here. It's right here, right now, and it's for them.
Well, you brought up Andy Reid. You've been around a guy by the name of Mike Ditka, so kind of a decent coach, I suppose. When you look at Andy Reid, what makes him such a great coach? How has he been able to do this? Because I remember when he got hired by Kansas City, and there were some rumblings from people going, I don't know about Andy Reid. What has he done? Oh, I don't know, just win Super Bowls left and right. So how has Andy Reid been able to do that? How has he been able to keep the consistency as long as he has?
Just being that guy. I mean, he seems to have such an even keel now. I'm sure he's had enough life experiences as well that has humbled him, humbled his family, and everything else with things. And I think that just transcends into that locker room. You could have went the other way, where you have a coach who could be selfish, and you see these guys sometimes fall apart and all these things around them that are going on with their family life and all this other stuff. You usually see this trickle down effect, and it didn't happen. And I think he's such a good father figure type of a guy for these guys. He played college football with Jim McMahon. I think you can get out of that without, being a good guy and a team guy, and a player's player or a player's coach, whatever you want to say. So he's one of those guys I think that over the years has gained that respect, and even more so now with life having happened to him, his family over these years. He seems to be just a real team guy. Most coaches make it about them, and he just doesn't. He could easy. Walk around like one of these guys. Out here. I'm this. I've won that. Some of these college coaches out here. The egos that these guys have. Nope, same guy. Just big smiles. The big walrus out there. Just winning.
Well, the number one thing I keep hearing is he listens to his players. He talks to them. He gets input, which I think that is hard for some people because you're the guy, you're the dude, so you got to listen to what I say. But it seems like his approach is a little bit unique, which is why I think he's also been successful. You being a two-time All-Pro offensive lineman, the Kansas City Chiefs this year, they go into this season looking at that left tackle spot going, we're going to draft Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU. He's the guy. Okay, gets drafted and clearly just wasn't ready for it. Now, doesn't mean they're going to give up on him. Doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player. But rookie year, mentally between the ears, just didn't seem like it was there. Then they try Wanye Morris. That didn't go so hot. They bring in DJ Humphries. Not quite fully healthy. He rushed it. He came back a little bit too soon. Now they take a left guard and put him at left tackle on Joe Thuney. And now you look at the Chiefs and you're going, well, now there's something there having Joe Thuney slide to left tackle. You being a former offensive lineman, how challenging is it to go from left guard to left tackle, or is it simply just, hey, I'm fine with it?
Some guys, you just are gamers that can play, and you put them in anywhere, and they're going to adjust, adapt. I was one of those guys. My rookie year, I played left guard, left tackle, and right tackle my rookie year. I started 15 games. I should have started 16, but Mike Ditka didn't want me playing one. I had a real bad sprained ankle. He didn't need me against the Rams, I think it was. It's the only game I missed my rookie year. But I played three separate positions, and unbelievably different, each and every one of them, that's for sure. When I was with the Chiefs, playing right tackle, playing left tackle, very different in mechanics when it comes to things. So, sometimes you got to figure that out with guys. They get to the NFL, and mechanics are different because the league and the speed of the game is so much greater. People don't understand the level. You go from high school to college and then the NFL. These levels of separation are massive when it comes to speed. So it does take an adjustment time for some guys. But at the end of the day, it's coaching. And where I see the biggest problems is that. And hopefully these guys can understand that, continue to access the great coaches that are out here to help. I do a lot of coaching myself and off the field or off the teams, in the off season with all their guys. And it's important that these guys are learning the right things to do, because you can transition guys naturally, and that's how they seem to be sorting this one out. Just let's see, we'll throw them in here, throw them in there. Okay, now it looks like it works, right? We've got to figure it out. Or you can really get into your coaching. Andy Reid was an offensive lineman, and he should know that. I think he does, and hopefully they'll address that this offseason and in the coaching department, because you've got the best players in the world. These are 1,800 of them. There's only 1,800 guys in the world get to do this job, and the process to get to those guys was real hard, real scrutinizing. They didn't, draft these guys to, sit around. They draft these guys to come in and play because they have that ability. Now it's a matter of you taking that ability that you saw and now making it into what it is it needs to be on the field in the NFL. For me, Dick Stanfield answered that real quick. My old line coach as a rookie, he said, you do whatever it takes, Kyle. You bite him in the ball, you take out the jugular, you take the knee, you take the ankle, you break the finger, and you poke him in the eye. Do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. R.I.P. rest his soul, Dick Stanfield.
Oh, my gosh. Going over the Philly. Didn't think I'd get an impersonation there from Kyle Turley here today. Well, I'm glad, because it's a Friday. We need to have some fun. So, Philadelphia. You have Saquon, who just won the Offensive Player of the Year, and rightfully so. He's been incredible. But he even knows, going from the Giants, where the offensive line was crap, going to the Eagles, where the offensive line is damn good, you knew that his numbers were going to go up. And the fact that he gets about 5 yards downfield before anyone can touch him, that's really the challenge. With Philadelphia and the way that the Philadelphia offense goes with that offensive line, what stands out to you with Philly's offense?
The line. I mean, the way that they block. That's what I'm talking about with coaching. You know, because you can bring a unit together that works in unison, and you see that with them. Their blocks are almost flawless at times when you watch the film with the Eagles. They're coached so well that is going to be the difference. You know. Obviously, you got to follow the white hat. We'll see what those guys do, but the Eagles are going to be quite the challenge, and that's because of that offensive line and how they move the football. You know, it's methodical. It's through that line, and you can watch it. You know, where these guys are fitting into blocks, coming off at the right time, getting to the next level, and really opening those big holes for those runs. Because once he gets there, like you said, it's a tough job. You know, you don't have the old school safeties, coming up and banging like they used to.
Well, this year for football in the NFL, we've gotten so used to it being a passer's league. Of course, it helps to have a good quarterback. You have to have a good quarterback. You have to, right? It's paramount. But even this year, you looked at the numbers and you're thinking, hold on a moment. You're not seeing the numbers that we would normally expect. You started to see teams run the football a little bit more. Heck, even the Kansas City Chiefs, even though it's Patrick Mahomes, when they were depleted, when they didn't have Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, when they were hurt in the wide receiver passing core, what they do? They made a commitment to run the football a little bit more. As an old school lineman as yourself, not calling you old, calling you old school.
I'm 50 this year. I'm old.
Because that's the way you play. You play with a certain toughness. That's what it is. When you look at the game today, seeing that trend, how does that make you feel being a former old school offensive lineman where you're starting to see more smash mouth football, getting back to what some would say the way that the game should be played?
Sure. It's good to see. You know, people just sticking to the bread and butter of football, right? What makes football happen is first downs. You know, you keep getting those first downs, you can stay on the field, right? And you don't need this flashy, over-glorified offensive scheme, right? At the end of the day, the guy can hike the ball, and we can play it just like we did in the park. You know what I mean? And that really helps build camaraderie. From when I was coaching flag football for my son's team, right, there's certain plays that you can call that everybody just gets, right? Oh, this is it, mud and guts, blood, sweat, tears. Let's go get a few yards of football here, right, boys? In flag football, I called the play Fortnite. Everybody got it, right? We got to go that way. We're scoring, right? Everybody run around, get in the way, and everybody meet in the end zone, And those are those types of plays that are just iconic football. Everybody snap the ball, move in a direction, get as many yards as you can, and have a good fight, a scrum, whatever you want to call it. That's football, man. Those times when you're young, when you're out in the park with the boys in the mud, and it's Thanksgiving, in the turkey bowl, right? It's everybody's dream to run plays like that in football where everybody's got a part to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of these offensive plays out here, these guys get too creative, and it's all just about two guys. This guy snapping this ball and him getting it out to that one dude, right? And the way they're playing football right now is fun to watch for sure.
Yeah. All right. So before we get your official prediction on what's going to happen on Sunday, let's talk about PowerPlantDepot.com, because you say you're a huge player health advocate in the National Football League. You are an outspoken individual who very much backs cannabis, saying that cannabis has saved your life. Tell me a little bit more about Power Plant Depot and why you're here talking about Power Plant Depot.
Yeah, no, it's just continuing my journey and my story. This is my business now. I've created my own company, Power Plant Depot, and you go to PowerPlantDepot.com. Going to continue to expose the things that I have found in cannabis and other plant now opportunities. Gotten into mushrooms, getting into all these opportunities with canna, there's kratom opportunities, all the psilocybin mushroom stuff that's out there, ibogaine, all these things that people are talking about and hearing about now are very real, and in microdose situations can resolve so many issues for people. I'm not telling people to go out and do the ayahuasca trips. I don't think people need to go see God, right? You let that happen in your own mind, right? And let God come to you by getting your life back and then get it in order. And how you do that is by getting your mind right. And so in saving my life, cannabis truly has, and it continues to every day, being able to allow me to get out and get up every morning and go. I sleep sleep like a baby, right? I wake up, even though I'm pain just ridden all over, toss and turn when I do wake up because the pain's so bad in certain areas, but I get good sleep. I'm up at 5, 6 in the morning in the gym, constantly training, coaching, business, all these other things. So powerplantdepot.com, people could go listen, and I got my podcasts on there. I'm doing all these other things, trying to build content so that ultimately I can continue this message, because people need to listen and understand. I haven't taken one pharmaceutical in over 10 years. And there's still things I deal with from the cost of this game, but what has happened to me in the resolutions is undeniable. And we need to really understand this in its full opportunity. Tennessee's allowed that. Kansas, the hemp opportunity is still available as well. Taking over, and hopefully people, the education on this continues to happen, because we can't have these discrepancies where, Chiefs players on one side of a borderline are arrested for something they should be using versus these pills that kill everyone, and they have unbelievable death rates attached to them and horrific consequences in the long-term use. I experience those. All these guys don't need to have to experience this stuff, and so through this education is what my goal is, and continue to move the ball forward, right, towards the goal line. We need full legalization. It's going to come here this year with the Hemp Act from Rand Paul, and it's going to bump that THCA up to Delta 9 to 1%, which makes every strain of this racist word marijuana hemp, which is what it is. And everybody needs to put it to bed, let it run, and let all these people continue to find the resolutions that they're finding in it. It's really an impressive opportunity and thing to see when communities embrace cannabis and all these other plant-based options, and the transitions that happen, right? Better work participation, workforce, less sick days, people are out motivated, people are in the gym, people are back to church, right? This is helping to open people's minds more and more to what the power is within, and that's what needs to be exposed.
Who wins on Sunday?
Chiefs, come on, man. What are you talking about?
Man, that was even a question.
Versus the Eagles, and then you got Andy Reid. This is personal. He can't lose to Philly. Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it for sure. Kyle, appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
That's right. Thank y'all so much. Who dat?